I think passive income, it's almost so poisonous in some way.
If your only goal is to make money and you'll do whatever it takes, you won't, and you will lose.
Every single minute that you have, it is an investment.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time. Hey, it's Carmichael, and I am not a morning person, I'm not. But when you start your day off with a powerful routine that inspires you, like watch one of these videos, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of espresso from Dan Lok.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Financial freedom is bull. It does not exist. I used to believe it exists. It's a myth. It's an illusion. Not a popular thing to say, but I'm saying it. Because I used to believe it. It's not true. When I say the word financial freedom, what picture comes to mind? Right? A beach. You're sitting on the, what is it? What's it called? The swing thing. What is it called? Yeah, that's right. And then you're drinking your what? Yeah, okay, that's right. A beer or something, right? People think of that's financial freedom. I did that. Bored out of my mind. You got sunburned in 2 days. And you look at the ocean, the first day is cool, second ocean, you say to yourself, this is stupid. This is boring. Like, it's boring, bored out of my mind, and I'm like, now I don't look good when I'm like 10. Like it's all red, and your skin peels. It's a bad day. I'm like, I work hard for this? For what? I don't understand. I really don't understand. So let me ask you this. Do you have the freedom to go to different places if you want to? The freedom of mobility, yes? Do you have the freedom of speech? You can express your opinions, okay? Do you have the freedom to create? Then you are free. So why are we seeking something that is so elusive when we're already free? Oh, but then I don't have enough money to buy whatever I want, to own whatever I want, to travel in the style that I want to travel. I get that. That's an income thing. But I'm not talking about that. So financial freedom is an illusion. It doesn't exist. And although I know maybe Rich Dad Poor Dad Kiyosaki talks about when your investments, when you have enough passive income coming in that exceeds your expense, that you're free. You've heard that before, yes? Right? You've heard that before? That's what he talks about in the book. I think passive income makes you lazy. I think passive income, it's almost so poisonous in some way. Because let me ask you this, are you guys a couple? Yeah, okay. Married? Not yet, okay. All right, not gonna go there. Okay, all right, not gonna, okay. So, what's your name? Andrew. And what's your name? Rosa. Andrew. So Rosa, imagine this. And Andrew comes home and say, honey, we're together now for how many years? 2 years. From now on, I'm just gonna have some passive sex. You're gonna do all the work, and I'm gonna have some passive sex, right? Or in health, right? You go to the gym and you say, I just want to have some passive health. In what other areas this works? None. None. Anything worthwhile, you got to participate actively. Yes, Andrew, hopefully. Yes. Right? Actively, right? Actively. You're engaged, right? You put your heart and soul into it. So passive income is a myth. Write down, just because something is passive doesn't mean it's permanent.
The number one rule for success is you have to love what you do. I've studied entrepreneurs, athletes, inventors, musicians, actors, people from all walks of life. I've studied more successful people than most people in I don't know how many years of studying success. Since I was 19, that's when it all started. I'm 41 now. Since I was 19, I built one of the largest websites in the world studying successful entrepreneurs, and now one of the largest YouTube channels in the world studying successful entrepreneurs. We studied a lot of people, and the number one rule that comes up over and over and over and over and over again across all the industries, all walks of life, is you have to love the process. You have to love the work. You have to love what you're doing. Jerry Seinfeld calls it the torture you can endure. And I like that, because stepping into somebody else's schedule should be torture. If you step into my schedule, this should be torture for you, but it's not torture for me because I actually love the thing. That's how you get up every day and keep working. Where I think too many people are just chasing the opportunity. You're just chasing the how do I make money. You're just trying to make a quick buck, and you always end up losing. Guys, you end up losing. If your only goal is to make money and you'll do whatever it takes, you won't, and you will lose. Making money is really important. It is. It has to be in your top 5. But there's something above it, which is your mission, which is your purpose, which is the thing that you are here to do. That has to be more important, because the people who just chase money never end up getting it, not in a big way. This is the problem we need to solve. I was asked on an interview last week, what do you do to chill? What are you doing when you're chilling? It's like, well, this interview that I'm doing with you isn't work. This isn't work for me. This is fun. I like it. Making these videos for you, it's not work for me. I like it. It's fun. I like the idea. Nina's here running some errands, and I like the idea of tagging along and staying in the car, answering questions and filming videos, making content. I like it. It's genuinely fun for me. And the second it gets like, oh, I gotta make stupid videos again, then I quit. Then I'm out. But I've been doing this for 12 years and still doing it because I like the process. I like the work, and that's the key. You have to find the thing that you love doing, as opposed to just chasing down what you think is going to be the hot opportunity for this year. So how do we do it? Couple strategies, couple things to keep in mind. 1, your great opportunity comes on the other side of combining what you love doing with what brings value to other people. This is at the core, the essence of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs solve problems. You want to make money, you solve a problem. You want to make a lot of money, solve a lot of problems, or solve a really big problem. You want to make money quickly, solve a problem quickly, right? This becomes your goal, is to solve problems. A lot of times it's a problem that you solve for yourself, and then you're going to solve that problem for other people as well. But when you just love something and it doesn't bring value to other people, you've got a hobby. And a lot of people are just stuck in hobby mode. You love doing something, but you never think about how can it help other people, or you can't see the path to it helping other people. And so you stay stuck in hobby land. And that's great, and that's fulfilling, and that feeds your soul, and that makes you internally happy, but it doesn't allow you to build a business. It doesn't allow you to quit your job. It doesn't allow you to have a big impact on the world. You're stuck just living it for yourself. And if you're happy with that, great, amazing. There are other people who are just chasing opportunity, who are just looking for the money, and they don't love the thing that they're doing, and they end up losing all the time because you're going up against the people who do love it. Your win scenario is when you combine those two things together. The thing you love doing with what brings value to other people. What do you love doing that then brings value to other people? That is your business for the rest of your life. That's going to be the thing that you can hang your hat on, that will bring you money, that will have a big impact. Just think about that combination. What do you love doing that can also bring value to other people? Second thing I want to talk about is figuring out your purpose. A lot of people figure out, or they ask me, hey, Evan, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my passion? How do I find the thing that I was born to do? I was put here on this planet for. How do I find it, Carmichael? I wrote a book, Built to Serve. You can pick it up. I detail the process there. But essentially, your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled the most with is the thing that you want to help other people through. Emotionally, think about when you felt the worst as a human. When did you feel the worst as a human? Not, again, like, I broke my neck, not physical pain, emotional pain. When did you feel worthless? And then understand that there are millions of people who are currently feeling that way, and you can help them. Your purpose is to help them. And whatever you did to get out of the hole that you were in is teachable now. You might have tried a million things to get out of the hole that you were in, but now that's teachable, and you can shortcut other people's paths. So for me, I struggled as an entrepreneur. When I was 19, 20, I quit on my business partner. I felt worthless. I was putting in so much work, getting no results. And I quit on my partner because I just needed to feel like I was a valuable human again. I felt like I was putting so much effort in and just seeing no results that I couldn't keep going. It was just it just felt like I was being pounded on every day. My self-worth was being pounded on every day. I felt stupid. And the thing that saved me was modeling success, was looking at how Bill Gates started his company. And so What have I done for the past 20 years is just teach people how to model success. Teach people how to learn from people who've come and done it before you, and how you can shortcut your path by modeling what they did. And so that's my purpose, and that'll be for the rest of my life. You know, I want to help entrepreneurs believe in themselves more by modeling the success of others. That's it. It'll take on a lot of different forms. It's YouTube videos right now. It'll be holograms in the future, virtual reality in the future. You'll be sitting here in the car next to me in the future. Amazing. But that's my purpose for the rest of my life. So same thing for you. Whatever you struggled with is the thing that you want to help other people through. And the third thing I want to introduce you to is recognize that you're an impossibility. Think about who you were 5 years ago. Your mindset, your heart set, your financial situation, the thoughts running through your head, how much you believed in yourself or not. Think about how much you've grown over the past 5 years. Like, really think about it. We're so focused on forward that we often don't spend time looking back, at least in a positive way. Not looking back on all the regrets that you had, but looking back on how much you've grown. Think about who you were 5 years ago. Really just try to imagine for 8 seconds, who were you 5 years ago? Now imagine the 5 year ago you was talking to you today. And look at how much you've done. And look at how much you've grown. And look at how much you've improved. And look at how much your mindset has changed over the past 5 years. What you're doing right now, you would say is impossible 5 years ago, right? What you're doing right now, who you are right now, the you from 5 years ago would say, I couldn't do that. That's not possible. There's no way I could accomplish those things. It's not happening. And yet you've done it. You are an impossibility to former you. You shouldn't be doing these things right now. Former you doesn't believe that you're capable of doing this, and yet you've done it. You are that impossibility already. Imagine again all the people, the millions of people out there who currently are former you. They need your voice. They need your support. They need your help. They need you to share your story, because they may not listen to an Evan Carmichael. They may not listen to a whoever, insert famous speaker, entrepreneur, role model. They may not listen to that person, but they'll listen to you because you've gone through it, because you are like them. And so you have to share your story. You have to get it out. This is your calling, and it will never get old. And so I want you to make money. I think it's really important. I think people fall into two camps. Either the only thing they value is money, or they think money is evil. It's neither. It's a tool, and it's really valuable, and I want you to make it, and you need to learn how to make it. But doing it while serving others. Taking your purpose, taking serving, taking helping, bringing value to the world, and making money in the process of doing that, so that you can be happy, so you can build the life that you want to build, so that you can have an impact on the planet and touch other people, especially the people. This is where your heart will come alive. Not just random people. That'll help. It always feels good to do a random act of kindness, right? It feels good. We know how good that feels. But people who are currently who you used to be, you've seen them struggle, you've seen the lack of hope, you've seen the despair in their eyes, you've seen them feel like giving up. And then by them interacting with you, by them hearing your story, that becomes a spark for them, that forces a change, that gives them a little bit of hope, that gets them on a forward path, that starts building real momentum in their life. When you see that happen, that's a good drug to get addicted to, and that will feed you for the rest of your life. Now I've got some special bonus clips that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you just watch a video and get motivated, you have a 35% chance of actually doing something, making a change. That's what the science says. 35%, that's not enough, Believe Nation, but when you watch a video, you get motivated, and then you create a specific plan of action for what you're going to do, it jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit publicly, like putting it in the comments below what your plan is, it jumps to 95%. So, Believe Nation, your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week, put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate with you.
Hi, this is Dan Lok. I want to share with you a lesson from Evan Carmichael's new book, Built to Serve. This section is about making money from your purpose. You have to embrace that. If you never learn how to make money from your purpose, you'll always end up needing a day job, and your purpose will become a hobby. If that sounds like a great life to you, then I'm happy for you. If not, then you need to figure out a money-making model that makes sense, one that is consistent, one that is significant, one that can pay you so you can quit your job and succeed to the point where you are providing jobs for others and helping even more people. You see, money is nothing more than a byproduct of value creation. The more people that you serve, the more successful that you will be. So to have long-term success is not just built to last or built to sell or even built to scale. It is built to serve. And this book will teach you exactly how to do that. Avoid minimum wage activities. Let's say the phone company overcharged you for $5 and you pick up the phone and you call them and you argue with them and you spend an hour on the phone arguing about that $5. And at the end, fine, they adjust it and you save back $5. Now, did you just save $5? Not really. Not if your goal is to make $1 million a year. Because that phone call didn't save you $5. That phone call just cost you $495. So I want you to imagine this. Here's a bonfire and you just waste $495 that you burn yourself. You need to look at it that way. Every single minute that you have, it is an investment. If you're investing that time to spend with your family, that's fine. You're getting happiness. You're getting fulfillment back. That's a return. It's incalculable. That's fine. But if you're talking about a business activity, there has to be a return. You're spending this much time, you want this much return back. Money at the end of the day is incredibly simple. Money is math. You invest X, you get Y back. That's an investor mentality. The problem is, when it comes to time, most people have the waster's mentality. They waste time. Or spenders, they just spend time. There's a Chinese proverb that I like. An inch of time is worth an inch of gold.
Recently, I was in Los Angeles and my team and I, we went out for dinner one night and we went to Koreatown. Now, Koreatown, there's a famous Korean barbecue place. So we reserved a table, we showed up. It's a very interesting experience I want to share with you because there are a couple key lessons, key customer service lessons from there. First of all, we showed up and we were waiting for almost half an hour because the place is packed. So I was getting a little impatient, right? A little like, what's going on, right? Because my time is valuable, right? Just waiting, and all of us, a dozen of us are waiting for the table. And so before going in, I know the place is good, but I was like, man, I don't know. Just like, so my expectation was like, not so good. I don't know. I know the food is good, but I don't know how good the experience is gonna be, right? So before we were seated, we weren't in a very good mood, right? And so we wanted to sit together, but because they don't have a table of that size, we were forced to sit in two separate tables to separate. And Jenny was like, oh, this is no good. So starting out, I was already like, okay, the waiter, they're not getting any tips here. I don't care, the food is good, they're not getting any tips because the customer service is not that good. Now, however, once we were seated, then you have the waiter coming and explaining the different types of food that they have. Now, they serve meat, it's Korean barbecue. They have like different kinds of beef, so many different kinds, right? They barbecue, I don't know, like different parts of the beef and different kinds of beef. Very, very delicious. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to Korean restaurant, they give you a lot of free appetizers. So each one of us got like a lot of these small bowls of appetizers. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, right? So we ordered the food. The waiter actually came to our table and we have this like grill in front of us. And they would actually cook for us. They would cut up the meat and they would cook it and then they would serve us. I'm like, okay. Now, remember at the beginning, my expectation was here. You see, when it comes to customer service, a lot of that has to do with managing expectations. Eating is great, it's awesome. Like, okay, this is like, it's better. And the waiter actually was taking the time to educate us on different types of meat that we can order. Like, which one? Oh, you want to try this one? You want to try that one? But then he did something very smart. And that's what I want to share with you. Near about 2/3 of the way, so we ordered drinks and pops, and Desmond drinks his beer, right? If Desmond, you're watching this, right? And then it's good. We're having a great time. We were chatting, we're eating. And about 2/3 in the way, they were bringing us free drinks. Say, hey, you know what? They brought along a couple bottles of beer and they brought a lot of pops and drinks. Just boom, put a table on the house. Now you don't see this in an Asian restaurant a lot, just so you know. I'm like, this is smart. First of all, the drinks cost very little money compared to what we eat. We feel like, wow, this is very nice. We get free appetizers, now we have free drinks. But here's the thing, by the time we were almost done eating, even you give us more free drinks, we can't finish them anyway. So chances are they'll take this back to the kitchen, right? So we're not consuming the free stuff, but the feeling was very good, right? And at the end, we actually end up tipping the waiters quite a bit, over tipping them. So customer service, what could you learn from this story? A few things. Number one, managing expectations. Number two is the little thing. It's a little thing that counts. When you have provide those, like, the nice small gestures, right? The small little things, not the big things, that people remember you. People remember what you've done. You go that extra mile, right? And number three is educating your customers, because I always believe an informed customer is a better customer. So imagine we're just eating the food, maybe we didn't order the type of meat that would taste good, but by educating us, okay, if you want this kind of texture, you want this kind of taste, you want marinated, not marinated, you want different parts of the beef, by educating us, then we're like, okay, this is nice, right? And how to properly eat the meat, right? Even, okay, you mix it with this sauce, this is what you do dip in this, and this is how you eat, okay, it creates a better experience. In front of the computer, you're working on it, let's say 2, 3, 4 hours straight. Non-stop. You notice how you lose focus and you get fatigue. Yeah. Right? Productivity. You notice, like, you can see, like, at first, first hour, but then even you're doing the work, but after a few hours, you're like, you feel, your productivity is going down after like 4 or 5 hours, right?
Hey, how long we been here anyways?
37 minutes.
What? 37 minutes? That's insane.
Yeah, so, because human beings, we're not designed to do that. Our brain and all that, we actually design the way that we work as more like a sprint, right? So work intensely, could be 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Yes.
Break. Then do another 45-minute break, right? That's how I recommend you to schedule your time. We're not designed to work 5, 6 hours straight, no break. Yep. Your productivity, right? You're not very productive after a few hours because we are not designed. That's why we lose focus and you kind of see the stuff blurry in front of you. Yeah. You're not as sharp.
Have you seen the movie The Secret, or have you read the book The Secret? Now, maybe you have heard of the law of attraction and you wonder exactly what it is, and you wonder, does this actually work? Does the law of attraction work? You see, believe it or not, law of attraction is not some complicated magical ritual or some mysterious ancient secret. It's actually very, very simple. I want you to think of like gravity. It's an unchanging law of the universe, gravity. When I throw something in the air, it will drop to the ground. When you jump off a building, you will hit the ground. That's the law of gravity. You see, law of attraction is no different. It is simply the ability to attract into our lives whatever we are focusing on. In basic terms, all thoughts turn into things eventually, and what you focus on expands, just like gravity. To understand law of attraction, first you have to understand this, that you always attract into your life the people, the things, the resources, the ideas in harmony with your dominant thoughts. It means that you always attract people into your life in harmony with your current experience, knowledge, and wisdom. It means that your life only gets better when you get better. It means that as a salesperson, if you want to increase more sales, you want to close more deals, and you want to increase your income, you will only do that if you become better. You want to become a better manager, you will only become a better manager if you become better. You only become a better father only if you become better. Now, one time we were at the penthouse and it was raining outside, heavy rain. I was looking over the windows and I was looking out there. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, look at the dark cloud. Look at the pouring rain, like so depressing. And then Jenny walks by and she's looking at the windows and she's like, oh, it's so romantic. I'm like, romantic? Like, what are you talking about? Look at this. This is bad. Like, we can't go out. This is like pouring rain, damn Vancouver, right? She's like, no, look at the mountains. Look at those, like, look at that. Look at the light. And this is so romantic. I'm like, are you and I looking at the same thing? What is going on here? Well, we are looking at the same thing. The difference is that she saw beauty and I saw dark cloud. It is the same scenario. See, what you focus on expands. It's like the filter I was talking about. Most people attempt to change their lives with more information without upgrading your filter. Jenny and I, we have a different filter. You see, you have to realize this, that it is not what happens to you, but how you think about what happens to you that determines how you react and how you feel. It is not the world outside of you that dictates your circumstances or your conditions. It is the world inside of you that creates the conditions of your life. So you could choose, do you want to give it attention or do you not want to give it attention? When you go home, when you complain about your work, when you complain about your business, guess what? You go home, you complain to your spouse, oh my God, today the job is so bad, it's horrible. You are reliving that experience. You're giving it energy. Your brother-in-law, your brother, your sister calls you and you, oh man, let me tell you about how horrible work is today. You reliving that again, you are giving it energy. Yes, it has already happened, but you can choose if you want to give energy to it. And that's how you activate the law of attraction. The more you give energy to something, the more you attract those things and those circumstances into your life.
I believe everyone could be an entrepreneur, but not everyone should be an entrepreneur. Just like anyone can play basketball, anyone could grab a ball and shoot some hoops, but not everyone will make it to NBA. Because you see, most people, when they see someone who is successful, who is a successful entrepreneur, anyone can start, right? You can start a business, sole proprietorship, incorporate, a few $100, a couple grand, when you are in business. Anyone can change the Instagram and say, hey, now I'm the founder and the CEO of whatever my company is. Low barrier of entry. But the problem is, starting out as an entrepreneur doesn't mean you'll last as an entrepreneur. See, most people, when they see entrepreneurship, they think, hey man, it's like this. I'm flying private jet, I'm going to the destination, I'm enjoying life. Life is good. That's not what entrepreneurship is. In fact, let me ask you a question. Comment below for my fans who follow my work, who are business owners, that you have started your own business, especially retail business. Comment below. Share your story. What is it really like to be an entrepreneur? If I was to ask you the question, why you want to start your own business, you might say, hey, I want more freedom. I want more free time, right? I want to make more money. Here's what happens after you start your own business. Before you start your own business, you're working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, a typical job. It's fine. After you become an entrepreneur, now you're not working 5 days a week. You're not working 6 days a week. You're working 7 days a week. You're not working 8 hours a day. You're not working 10 hours a day. You're working 12, 14 hours a day. Making less money with a lot more stress and probably a lot more debt. Tell me if this is not true, right? And you think it's gonna take you, oh, I'm gonna be successful in 1 year. You think it will take you 1 year. Turns out even after you're successful, it took you 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is the glamour side. No one talks about the dark side, right? You've heard those statistics. 95% of small business fail in the first 5 years, right? Some people say 96%. The 5% that survives, it doesn't mean they're like thriving. They're just surviving. And big majority of that 5%, most of them don't make it. So you have to understand what you're getting yourself into.
I never want to project my values on you. How you live your life is up to you. right? I paid a price early, I made a lot of sacrifices. And money is not everything. Money is never everything, but money is important. It gives you more choices. So most people, they work hard their entire lives and they have nothing to show for. You work very hard. Comment below, right? You work hard. You cannot go on that vacation. You're in debt. You want to buy this something for your family. You want to send your kids to college. You want to just live in a nicer hotel when you travel, and you cannot even do that. Do you work hard? You work hard. I work hard. I always believe that if I'm going to be working hard anyway, I might as well work hard to be financially successful. I want to know that I'm working hard, but I'm also working smart, right? I want to constantly upgrade my skill sets so I can deliver more value to the marketplace and not just saying, oh man, Dan, you work very hard. You know what, that 5 years, yes, I was working my face off. My friends, partying, drinking, chasing girls, all this. Guess where all my friends are now? They're broke. They can't get a job. They're still stuck. They have no choices. They're in debt. They have no freedom. Looking back, I'm glad that I paid that price early. I'm glad I was working that 12, 14 hours a day, 5 years straight. No rest. Because I did that, I did what most people were not willing to do, what you are not willing to do. So now, I could live a life that most people could never dream of. That's the difference. So you have to make a choice. By the way, you're already making a choice every day. You're making a choice right now. How you invest your time, how you spend your time. Before you know it, 5 years is gone. It goes by like that. 10 years is gone. 15 years is gone. 20 years is gone. You're sitting in your living room. You're watching TV. You're looking yourself in the mirror and you say, where the did my time go?
What are your weaknesses? One of the most common questions you'll get during an interview when you're applying for a job. Now, over the years, I've asked this question to so many applicants, and I am shocked by the answers. So today I'm going to teach you how to answer that question properly. First, let's talk about what you don't do. So when your employer, your interviewer is asking you, so what are your weaknesses? Oh, I have none. Don't ever say that. It is a lie. You know it's a lie. I know it's a lie. Just when people say that, just get out of here. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. When you say, I have none. And don't say, well, you know, I never thought about it. No one ever asked me that. Seriously, no one ever asked you that. Maybe you think you're being smart with the reply. Don't do that. It just shows you are dishonest, and also it shows you lack self-awareness. Those are not good answers. Also, here are the ones I hear all the time that are also, it's a big no-no. I'm kind of a workaholic and a bit too much of a perfectionist. Give me a break. Don't try to turn it and put a positive spin on it when you're being asked what are your weaknesses, right? Another one I hear all the time, oh, I love people, I love working with people. Really, I don't like you that much right now. Okay, that's not good. That's not what you do. So here's how you answer it. What are your weaknesses? The key is don't make that about your personality. If you're gonna share something, make that about your skill set that you could work on. Here's what I mean by that. When you share something about your personality to an employer, it could feel like, well, I don't know if you could fix that. That maybe is who you are. But if you make it about a skill set, then it's something that you could work on. So I'll give you an example. What are your weaknesses? Well, you know, I'm more of an introvert, and sometimes I notice that I'm shy to share my ideas when there's a room of people. Now, see, that's a good reply if you are an introvert, because here's what's going through my mind. My mind is thinking, okay, this person is shy, introverted, and that's okay. So it means that in certain scenario, maybe I need to ask this person more to speak up. I could say, hey, you know what do you think of this? Or in my mind, I'm also thinking, well, maybe through time, once this person becomes more comfortable with everybody else within the company, she could share more ideas. See, that's what's going through my mind, right? That is fixable. Or maybe this person could go take Toastmasters and develop more confidence and work on her public speaking skills a bit. See, in my mind, all that's fixable. That's fine. I remember the first month when I learned Wing Chun, my Sifu, my instructor, was teaching me the straight punch, right? The whole first month, all we did is we just straight punch. Either we do it this way, we do it this way, we do it forward, right? We do it backward. And after a month of this is stupid. Like, this is a scam, right? I pay my tuition, Sifu doesn't do anything, just teaching me this. Like, what the hell is this? I was thinking, I want to learn these fancy techniques, and they're doing some cool fancy techniques. And suddenly, it's like a bit of like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Then my Sifu said, okay, now you hit somebody with this. Now let me train you with this. And suddenly, oh, because I've been practicing for a month, I didn't know I was internalized some of the techniques, very simple technique. In Wing Chun, it's very, very simple. It's very direct. We don't have a lot of techniques, right? You have the slapping hand, which is the pak sao, right? You have the pak sao, or you have the lap sao here, right? Which is the, right? Holding hand, right? Or you have the bong sao. This is like that, right? You have the, if someone throw a hook, right? Tan sao from here, and that's okay. Like, we don't have a lot of fancy techniques. It's just those fundamentals over and again, right? And that's what makes it cool. It's the application of very basic techniques, because when you are in a scenario, when you're getting attacked, what you don't want is you have a lot of techniques. You have, let's say, 100 techniques. Someone attacks you and you say, you know what, let me think about, I want to use technique 55 combined with technique 64, and then I'm going to finish him off with technique 72. No, like, when in doubt, like, you just hit. And you don't want to have 3-4 punches in your mind, you have one, right? And then if there's something in the way that you want to use your sensitivity and you want to do something else. But it's variation of that. And you practice for so many years with the same stuff. So fundamentals over fancy techniques.
7 things poor people do that the rich don't. Number 1, poor people watch TV and rich people read books. How many hours you spend in front of the TV, and when was the last time you read a book? How many books do you read per year? Number 2, poor people get paid based on time. Rich people get paid based on results. Let's say you're working at McDonald's. You may be the best floor cleaner on the planet ever, but what value do you bring to McDonald's? Rich people, we get paid based on results, not time invested. Let's say we're working on a product. We spend a year creating, perfecting the product. We bring it to the marketplace and it sucks. It bombs. It doesn't make us a dime. The world doesn't give a We don't make money. Nobody cares how much time, blood, sweat, and tears we put into creating a product and bring it to the marketplace. How much risk that we take. They don't care. What they care is results. That's why the highest paid athletes in the world, they don't get paid by how many hours they practice, how many times they invested. No, it is how much they perform. They get paid based on performance. Number 3, poor people, they blame others for their misfortunes. Rich people, we take responsibility for our own failures. You see, for poor people, it's always somebody else's fault. It's the economy, it's the government, it's my boss, it's my job, it's my city, it's my neighbor, it's my friends. It's always somebody else. It's never their own fault. Rich people, we take responsibility. If your life stinks, it's your fault. We take responsibility for our own action. When you take responsibility, what happens is you gain power. The power to change. The power to do something different. Remember, lame people blame people. Number 4, poor people focus on saving and rich people focus on investing. You know what? Don't drink that Starbucks coffee in the morning. Try to save a few dollars and here and there. Well, don't fly first class, fly economy. Always try to save a few dollars. Well, here's the thing. A penny saved is still a penny. You're not gonna get rich by trying to save a few bucks. You don't have a saving problem, you have an income problem. You need to earn a lot more money so you could invest. Number 5, poor people, they know it all. Rich people continuously to learn. You see, poor people are always very opinionated. They always want to tell the world about their opinions, about politics, about sports, about the society, about the government, about every single thing that's around them. versus being humble, willing to learn. Rich people, we're always learning. We're asking questions. We are listening. We are reading books. Continuous learning. Versus saying that I've got an opinion about everything. You know why they always have an opinion, poor people? Because the only way to get a little bit of attention. No different. I can see people, they're watching my video, watching my sales video, closing video, and I just look at that and I laugh. And they comment, oh Dan, you shouldn't close this way, you should close that way, you should say this. When was the last time you closed something? Show me. When was the last time you closed something for $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000? What the have you done? So your opinion doesn't count. Remember, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Your wealth can only grow as fast as you do. Number 6, poor people believe that money is the root of all evil. Rich people, we believe that poverty is the root of all evil. You've heard of the saying, money is the root of all evil. No, lack of money is the root of all evil. I want you to look at the poorest neighborhoods. I want you to think about those areas. Crime, drug, problems, all kinds of issues. You see, in the history of mankind, no bank's been robbed by someone pulling up in a Rolls Royce. It is the survival, it's the lack of money that's causing the issue. Money itself is neutral. Money is like a tool. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil. It is all up to you. Number 7, poor people, they have lottery mentality, and rich people, we have action mentality. You see, most people, they believe the only way to get rich is buying that lottery ticket. Even though they know that the chance of winning is slim to none, but they buy that fantasy. Hopefully, if I win, I'm gonna buy that house. I'm gonna quit that job. I'm gonna take that vacation. No, rich people have an action mentality. We believe if it's going to be, it is up to me. I'm gonna make it happen. Why great ideas alone are not enough? Why great ideas alone are not enough to change our lives? You see, one of the great mistakes that most people make is they're attempting to change their body, they're attempting to change their relationship, they're attempting to change their income, their finance, they're attempting to change something outside of themselves instead of changing something that's inside with themselves. Some people see themselves as conservative and safe. Are they gonna do anything crazy? Are they gonna go bungee jumping or skydiving? No, unless you're drunk or something like that. So you're not gonna do anything crazy or act nuts unless you're drunk. Now you might say it's the alcohol, but really it's just you finally getting permission to be yourself. The alcohol is just an excuse. If you are playful, if you're fun, if you're outrageous, you're gonna talk differently, you're gonna move differently, you're gonna dress differently. Maybe in a red suit. And you're gonna do things differently. And there's no right or wrong, but most of us have trapped ourselves in an old self-image and never really update who we are today. So then when you go and learn a new skill, when you go learn a new ability, a new idea, but we're stuck in this self-image, this is who I am, and that's why we never surpass it. Let me give you a metaphor. This will make sense for you. Let's say in this room that we set the thermostat at 70 degrees. Let's say that 70 degrees is a metaphor. It's a what? Metaphor for your comfort zone, which is also known as your self-image, your comfort zone. And most people have goals that are larger, they are more than their self-image. And that's why most people don't get to their goals unless they alter and or expand their self-image. So 70 degrees is your comfort zone. 70 degrees is your body. Not your goal, not where you want to be eventually, but what you're comfortable with. 70 degrees is the amount of love and passion and connection you have in your personal intimate relationship. Again, not your goal, but what you live with regularly. 70 degrees is the amount of money that you need to make to be comfortable. Not your goal, what you're comfortable with. Let's say the temperature drops to 65 degrees. Now what happens is your brain goes, hey, I'm a 70-degreer, not a 65. The heater's kicked on, you feel there's a drive and there's this urge and you want to do something about it. By show of hand, how many of you ever experienced part of life, maybe your body, maybe your income, maybe your relationship, where it dropped and you felt it's not good enough and you felt this incredible drive to do something about it, yeah? But put that way up and say, oh yeah? Oh yeah. And from there, and you try something and it doesn't work, and you try something else and it doesn't work, and you try something else and it doesn't work. Now, after a while, nobody wants to be a disappointment. No one wants to feel like a failure in their lives. So what some people do is they lower the thermostats. They lower their expectations. They make their goals smaller, more realistic, more reasonable. Don't get your hopes up, or you'll be disappointed. Well, maybe not. I'm not a 70-degreer. Maybe I'm a 65-degreer. Look at those 70-degree people. So arrogant. So full of themselves. They're probably workaholics anyway. I'm being smart. I'm cutting back. I'm downsizing. I don't want to burn myself out. I want to have more balance in my life. Now, before you know it, they're at 62. Then they're at 58. Now, by the way, when they're at 58, do they hang around with 70-degree people? No! They hang around with 50-degree people. So they feel better about themselves on a regular basis. Why do you think people watch reality TV? You know what? I thought my life is a mess. But look at these people on TV. Instantly, you feel better about yourself. Now, but you're at TEDx, obviously. You're not like that. You're an overachiever, yes? You're an overachiever. So when it's supposed to be at 70 degrees, you're at 65, what do? You do something about it, yes? You don't settle. You try it, you try something else, it doesn't work. You try something else, it doesn't work. You try something else, it doesn't work. You don't settle. You don't give up and you don't give in. If you hit a wall, you go around it, you go over it, you go under it, whatever it takes, you do it. And do you stop at 70 degrees? No, you keep going until you hit 80. 85, 90, 91, 92, 93, 99 degree, and your brain goes, hey, what do you think you're doing up here? You're not a 90-degreer. Who do you think you are? Get back to where you were. And suddenly you realize you're outside of your comfort zone. And then the heater stops and you lose your drive. And you begin to self-sabotage yourself. And you stop doing what got you there in the first place, and you start doing some dumb things, making some dumb decisions, until you get back to exactly where you think you deserve to be. Now, how many of you, I'm sure none of you have done this, but how many of you have seen other people sabotage themselves? Yeah, I thought so. You see, the strongest force in human personality is the need to remain consistent with how we see ourselves. The strongest force in human personality is the need to remain consistent with how we see ourselves. So the image that we hold of ourselves controls our successes and our failures, and also impacts every single area of our life. Let's say you have a self-image of someone who's overweight, and you don't want to talk about it, and you don't want anyone else to talk about it either. But until one day you just, you know what? I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna do something. I want to lose weight because I'm tired of being single. It's always good to have that extra motivation. And you go on a diet and you go join a gym. Not that you'll go, but you join a gym. And you go on a diet, and what happens? You start to lose weight. Why? Because you're starving yourself. You don't eat anything white, you don't eat anything sweet, no more chocolate, no more candy, no more French fries, no more soda, because you believe They make you fat. But that's not what makes you fat. It's your self-image that makes you fat. You see, when a person who's overweight goes on a diet without altering their self-image, any weight loss will be temporary. That's why you see people gain and lose a ton in their lifetime. Look at Oprah. See, whatever you lose, you're automatically programmed to find whatever that is lost. When you step on the scale, when you start to lose weight, you look at the scale, that's not really me. Not consciously, but subconsciously. That's not who I am. I don't deserve this. And then, bam, you put the weight right back on. Now, everybody go ahead, touch your chin. Just go ahead, touch your chin. Everybody say, isn't that interesting? We become self-prisoners of our own self-image. You are broke. Why are you broke? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And how do you never be broke again? I was broke when I was a teenager. When I came to Canada with nothing, no money, I was in debt, $150,000 in debt. I was so frustrated. I tried so many different things. I started and failed at 13 businesses. 13. Not 3, not 10, 13 businesses. All disaster. Not only did I make money from the businesses, I was in debt. Lost all my mom's money. Borrowed from friends and family. And I didn't know why. I wanted to succeed so bad, but I just couldn't make it work. Until one thing. Until I had an epiphany. What is that epiphany? You don't have a money problem, you have a skill problem. If you try to solve your money problem with just money, your problem doesn't get solved. Money problem is not solved by money. Money problem is solved by your intelligence and your skill set. Your mindset and your skill set. Now, what am I talking about your skill set? I want you to think about some of the highest paid people in the society. Let's say doctor, let's say attorney, let's say lawyer, let's say accountant, engineer, who is making a decent high income. What do they have? They have specialized skill sets that you may not have. See, the people with low income skills in our society, low income jobs, chances are their skills, now that doesn't mean they don't work hard. It doesn't mean they don't hustle. It doesn't mean they don't work long hours. But the skills that they have, that they offer to the marketplace, to society, people, companies, they are not willing to pay big money for. I call that low income skills. That's the problem. You try to make big money with low income skills. You need to develop your high income skills in order to make more money. So if you're struggling in life, you're struggling in business, I can guarantee you the biggest issue, how I've overcome, how I was struggling, how I overcome not want to be broke again, it's I learned to close. I learned to communicate ideas, thoughts, concepts. When you learn to close, you'll never be broke again. Because in business, nothing happens until something is sold. In life, nothing happens until something is sold. You're single, you're not a good closer. You can't close. You're not getting people to do what you want. They're not following your leadership. You can't close. You're not getting sales because you're a lousy closer. You can't close. When you can close, you can move, you can influence, you can persuade people. Everything that you want in life, guess what? Other people already have them. I don't care what it is that you want. Resources, money, capital, influence, relationships. Whatever it is that you want, you gotta close someone else to give it to you. So if you're struggling financially, it means you're a lousy closer. It is that simple. That's the downside. Upside is this. Once you know how to close, you will know how to create income on demand. You will know how to make money. You have the ability to make money anytime you want. That's the power of closing. That's how you never go broke again. So if you are not making the money you want, it's not a money problem, it's a skill problem. Solve your skill problem. Develop a particular skill set.
And when you combine your skill set with the mindset, now what am I talking about when it comes to mindset? Mindset, I'm talking about your belief, your ideas, your attitude towards something. If you combine a strong, a proper, abundant mindset with a strong, high income skill set, boom, you'll never be broke again. But you cannot maximize your skill set without a proper mindset. I'll say that one more time. You cannot maximize your skill set without a proper mindset. You need to have the two. If you have the two, you'll never go broke again. I want you to be absolutely, brutally honest with yourself. If you're struggling financially, what kind of skills do you have? Probably none. Except the skill of probably none. What value you bring to the marketplace? If you are not where you want to be, you're not growing as fast as you want to be, you're not increasing your income as fast as you want to be, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. But when it comes to reading, I read a book. Sometimes if I'm looking for any book that I read, I have a simple question. I want to get what are the 3 ideas that I can get from the book that I can implement right now? Just 3. Not 10, not 20, not 100, 3 ideas. If I could get those 3 ideas from the first 3 chapters, I will highlight those, I will take those, and I'll put the book away. One of the most powerful tool, one of the most powerful mindset you need to have in life and business is clarity. And clarity is power. Clarity is power. And what is power? The power is the ability to take action. So if the more you read, the more confused that you get, it gives you less clarity, it means it takes away from your power. If more reading gives you more clarity and gives you more ability to act, that's good, that's powerful, right? That's on the right track. So there's a big difference between information and knowledge to wisdom. Let me explain. This would give you a lot of clarity. Information is just facts, data, numbers, figures, theories, principles. That's just information. There's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of information on YouTube. There's a lot of information on Google. There's a lot of information, but information itself does not help you. It does not make you richer. It does not make you happier. It does not make you healthier. It does not make you smarter. Information is just information. It's like when you go to school, right? You're going to class, your textbook. There's a lot of information in the textbook, right? That's the first stage. Once you gather enough information, now you're accumulating what I call knowledge. So you get a lot of information, and you now learn about the distinctions. Now you take that information, you apply it, or maybe you take that information and you take a test. That's knowledge. After the test, you know after the exam in school, oh, that works, or oh no, that was the wrong answer, or I didn't pass the exam, or here are the mistakes that I got wrong. Well, you're learning from it, right? That's accumulating your knowledge. So a lot of people, they read books to acquire information. You watch video to acquire information, and you wonder, how come I'm watching a lot of videos, I'm learning, but my life is still the same? Because you haven't converted information to knowledge, and from knowledge into experience. Now, how do you convert knowledge into experience? So now you acquire some knowledge, you got to implement. And the only way you get experience is you a lot, right? You make the mistakes. You see if this stuff works, right? Now you're getting experience. You're seeing a pattern of things. Goes back to the school example. Now you take enough exams. Remember the class you take from like grade 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Now you take enough exams, studying the same subject for many years in a row. Now you see a pattern. Okay, I'm accumulating more things. I'm getting more experience of what works and what doesn't. Now experience, that's much more valuable. It's more valuable than knowledge, and knowledge is more valuable than information. So books itself is just information. Information does not change your life. Information doesn't change your life. You got to convert it by gathering, filter into knowledge. From knowledge, now you implement. Now you get to the next step, which is experience. Then from experience, from now you have done it long enough, a long period of time, now is evolve into wisdom. A lot of people are smart, but they're not wise. Wisdom is something completely different, okay? Wisdom is knowing what not to do. Wisdom is knowing when you don't have to do something. So let's say in enough experience, you know what? This is how I'm going to make this work. These are 20 things that I could do. My experience tells me these are the 20 things I could do to make me successful. Wisdom is knowing, okay, 19 of these is just do this one. That is the difference. Knowledge is about accumulation. Wisdom is about elimination. Sleep on that. Wisdom is about elimination. It is about simplicity. It's not about daily increase, it's about daily decrease. But you cannot get to wisdom without knowledge. You cannot get to wisdom without experience. You have to go through all of that. Now you can simplify everything that you do. And there are only few things that you need to do to get you the results. You don't need to do 100 things. You can do a couple of things and you do it well, and that's wisdom. And most people, they're smart, but they're not wise. And you can tell. You can tell from the way that they share, the way that they communicate, there's not a lot of depth. Where they speak from, the place they speak from, it lacks a lot of depth. But when you're talking to a wise man, you see, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Whatever he's speaking about, it makes a lot of sense. There's depth behind those words. That's wisdom. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't read books, I use books. It's all about taking ideas, taking information, convert it into knowledge, and as soon as I convert into knowledge, I want it to turn into an experience, and then I want to filter through my years of experience and then condense that into wisdom that I have, that what works for me. What works for me may not work for you. My wisdom is different from yours, but this is what works for me. So there are many stages learning. It's not so much, oh, what books should I read then, or what's the best way to learn, or all this stuff. You see, it's a very surface level question. You need to go deeper than that. You need to go deeper than that. You need to go beyond and just watching videos to now taking the information, what I'm teaching you, implementing it, go out there in the real world, apply this, and see what works. What works for you, what doesn't work for you. You gotta go, you can read about how to swim until you are in the swimming pool, right? Until you swim, you learn, and now you can swim back and forth many laps, and then now you're swimming in the lake, right? That's experience. Now when you have wisdom, you go swim in the ocean, but you also know better not go that area, there are sharks there, right? That's wisdom.
If you want another amazing Dan Lok video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
If you want to accelerate your growth, the first thing that you want to do is change who you spend time with.
Most of the people in our lives, they're takers.